Man, so the reason why I'm preaching is because Pastor Seth and Karis, they're in California. They're preaching at a church family of ours with the Ark family. And so we just love them. We miss them. You don't have to stand to your feet or anything, but come on, can we just give a shout of praise? It's on West Coast time. We love you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. And so you're probably, maybe some of you are in here are like, man, y'all spent 5 weeks on watching your words. And it's like, yeah, we did, because here's what we know is that our words matter. The Bible says that our words matter. It uses a couple of illustrations. It says that the rudder on a ship, even though it's small in comparison to the entire vessel, it actually has the most control. It's kind of like what Seth said. It's like your steering wheel on your car. It's like, yeah, anywhere you turn that steering wheel is where your car is going to go. In the same way that your words act, is that your words can actually steer the course of your life. And so we spent the last 4 weeks just looking at a couple of those steering wheels that maybe can steer our life. And so we talked about complaining and criticism and speaking faith instead of negativity over our situations. Last week was awesome. We talked about sarcasm and how the word sarcasm actually means to scar. And so a lot of times when we give that little sharp jab of sarcasm, like, we don't understand how bad it can actually hurt people, because our words matter. And today, Seth was like, hey, can you close out this series? And I'm like, yes. What is the topic that I get to speak on today? And he's like, you get to preach on gossip. I'm like, oh yeah, gossip. Said nobody ever, right? So real quick, turn to your neighbor on your left and your right, or your right, you choose, whisper in their ear and say, we about to talk about people. Welcome to Gossip Sunday, everybody. They're like, what did I learn at church today? Well, you learned about gossip. We gossiped all over the place on Sunday morning. And so what do we know about gossip? We know gossip's fun. We know gossip's entertaining, right? How do we know that? Because every time I turn on the television, there's some form of gossip, whether it's about politics or so-and-so said this. I mean, even when somebody comes up to you and says, did you hear about that? Automatically, our ears are like, what'd you hear? You know? We want to know. It's just, it's fun. It's like, I can't even go to the store anymore without looking at all the newest celebrity crushes and the celebrity divorce. And he said, she said, some of it's true, some of it's false. I was standing in line at a grocery store the other day, and I'm literally looking at the magazines, and I see a giant chicken on the front page. And I'm like, ooh, what's that? And it says, giant chicken, 4-foot chicken, it's still a giant chicken. 4-foot chicken solves world hunger. Scientists are baffled. I'm like, I'm baffled. Is that true? Because if that's the case, my Buffalo Wild Wings experience is about to reach a whole nother level. All I need is 2 wings. You can keep the rest of them. Give me that 4-foot chicken. I'm pretty sure it was a lie. But gossip, it's just fun, isn't it? It's fun. It's entertaining. This is what the Bible says about gossip. It says this in Proverbs 26:22. You can follow along with me in your worship guides. There's going to be some fill in the blanks coming, and also all the scriptures there as well. So Proverbs 26:22 says, the words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down into the innermost parts. Innermost parts. Here's another translation out of the NLT. It says, rumors or gossip are like dainty morsels that seep deep into one's heart. So it went from like, hey, it's like these like really nice little things that you can just eat, but it doesn't just sink down into your innermost parts. Your innermost part is your heart. It's translated, what the Bible says, that out of the overflow of our heart, the mouth speaks. So it's like dainty little morsels, but they sink into your heart. Now, I don't eat dainty little morsels. I don't even know what that is. So the DIV, the Daniel International Version, says gossip is like Pringles. And once you pop, you can't stop. This is a lot harder to do with one hand. I look like a baby T-Rex here ripping that apart. Once you pop, you can't stop, because it's like just, if I start eating one of these, I got to eat the whole thing, right? Because, but there's not much to them. There's a reason why they don't serve Pringles as a side at Thanksgiving dinner, okay? Because the ingredients are, literally I'm reading the ingredients, salt and air. That's it. Just trust me, I'm telling the truth. We didn't cover lying in any of our series, right? Salt and air is all because I mean, I can sit there and eat and eat and eat, and it just never really satisfies me, does it? And it's the same thing with our words, especially with gossip, is we'll like tear somebody down, or we'll kind of walk away or tell that story. But I mean, it's fun at the moment. It's fun at the moment. They're addictive. Once you pop, you can't stop, but it really doesn't ever satisfy us. And so that's the same way with gossip. And here's your big idea today, is that gossip is more than a reflection of our big fat mouth, okay? It's a reflection of our unsatisfied heart. It's more than a reflection of our big fat mouth. It's a reflection of our unsatisfied heart. Dave Ramsey, the author and inventor of Financial Peace University, we teach on it here at the church. We have groups every semester on financial peace. He's an author, speaker, and this is what he says about gossip. He says, gossip is defined as discussing anything negative with someone who cannot solve that problem. It's when you go to somebody with a problem about somebody else's problem, and you go to them and you talk about them, but that person can't solve the problem. It's gossip. And look, if you're not solving the problem, you're probably creating a problem. And if you're creating a problem, now you got a problem, because now you're probably hurting somebody. And you're like, well, who does gossip even hurt? Like, I'm telling the truth. It's like, yeah, maybe you're telling the truth, and everything you say must be true, but not everything that's true has to be said. Okay, so, and that's true, exactly. And so the same thing with gossip, because our gossip hurts people, and it hurts a lot of people. And today I'm just going to give you just 3 quick examples in your notes of who gossip hurts. And so number 1, gossip hurts the person it's spoken about. Gossip hurts the person it's spoken about. Proverbs 16:28 says, a troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Gossip separates even the best of friends. And I don't know how many of you in here, you don't have to raise your hand, but I'll raise my hand. I have been hurt by somebody's words I've confided them about something. They've gone and said it. And I can tell you that our relationship was never the same. And some of us in here have been hurt by other people's words, by other people's gossip, their big fat mouth. Maybe it was something small, maybe like in school, or maybe you had a secret crush, somebody that you were really into, and so you told your friend about it, and then that friend went and told this person, and that person, all of a sudden now your crush found out, and now you feel super awkward, not mainly because maybe your crush won't go out with you or what they think about you, but more of, I can't believe my friend betrayed my trust. Or maybe it was something even bigger, like maybe it was like an addiction that you had, and that you finally got the nerve and you stepped up, and whether it was maybe it was a drug addiction or maybe a porn addiction or whatever the addiction is, I have no clue. But maybe you go to this person and you confide in them and you confess, you say, I'm really struggling with this. And then they go and they start talking about your addiction, and now other people know about your secret addiction, and what took you so long to confess and overcome, now you can overcome it because it's out in the open, and it sent you 12 steps back from where you were, all because somebody betrayed your trust. Maybe it was marital problems. And you and your spouse are having disagreements or trouble, and so you go to somebody close, maybe a family member, maybe relatives of some kind, best friend, and you go to them and you say, I've been dealing with this in my marriage, and so they're like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And so maybe they don't go around like purposely talking about people, but maybe they start a prayer train. I'm going to pray. You need to be praying for somebody. Oh, really? Who's that? Okay, why do I need to talk about that person? And all of a sudden now people know about your marital problems. Your spouse didn't know that you told somebody, and now they come back around, and now your spouse knows, and now your marriage is in worse shape than what it was before. All because our words are like an arrow, man. Gossip hurts the person it's spoken about. And if you've been hurt by somebody like that, somebody else's small-mindedness, somebody else's big fat mouth, their big fat unsatisfied heart, just remember this. Just remember that it could always be worse. You could always be that person. Okay? Gossip hurts the person it's spoken about. Number 2, gossip hurts the listener. Gossip hurts the listener. You're like, did I just hear that right? Yeah, you did. Gossip hurts the listener. Look at Proverbs 17:4. It says, wrongdoers eagerly listen to gossip. Liars pay close attention to slander. So the Bible says, wrongdoers eagerly listen to gossip. So those who listen to gossip are wrong. It's wrong. It's not right to listen to gossip, okay? And listen to me for a second. According to the Bible, wrongdoers listen to gossip, and don't think for 2 seconds that once that person stops talking to you, they're not going to start talking about you. Okay? Don't think that you can just walk away after listening to gossip and think for a second, like, man, they're talking to me, but once I turn my back, are they going to start talking about me? I heard this quote one time. It says, what you permit, you promote. And this is what I mean by that. If we allow somebody to come in and they start talking about people that are close to us, maybe they're talking about our family members, maybe they're talking about our friends, maybe they're talking about our coworkers, our church family, and we're actually promoting them doing that. We're actually promoting them breaking that person down. And here's the deal, is that once it gets out and they found out that you knew and you didn't say anything, but you listened to it and you had fun with it, it could backfire on you. Gossip hurts the person that's spoken about. Gossip hurts the listener, and gossip hurts the speaker. Gossip hurts the speaker. Proverbs 25, 9 through 10 says, when arguing with your neighbor, don't betray another person's secret. Look at this. Others may accuse you of gossip, oh man, and you will never regain your good reputation. You will never again regain your good reputation. Think about it. Have you ever walked away from somebody who was gossiping and tearing somebody down and talking about your family and all this stuff, and you walk away and you just feel inspired and you're like ready to start the day, and you're like, when I grow up, I want to be just like that person. I've never walked away from that situation being like, I want to be just like them. It doesn't happen. Listen, there's a reason why the Bible, the same illustration I used at the beginning of the introduction of the sermon where it says that your words are like the rudder on a ship. James also uses another illustration. He says your words are like a spark that can ignite a forest on fire. And here's the deal. We know a forest takes a long, long time to grow. He didn't say what it means is like what takes years for us to build a good reputation, for us to build good credit with somebody, for us to build our character up and have this relationship with somebody. The Bible says that your words are like a spark, and in an instant you can ignite that. And then what took years to grow, what took years to develop, what took years to produce life, and good reputation says it can be destroyed by a single spark because your words matter. Gossip hurts the person it's spoken about. Gossip hurts the listener, and gossip hurts the speaker, so much so that it says you could never regain your good reputation again. Watch your words. And you're like, that's great, Daniel. Way to build me up on a Sunday morning. Well, listen, it's not what I want to do now is I just want to give you a couple of tactical ways that maybe you could stop gossiping. And the thing is that we all know, let's just be real in the house today. We all know that at some point we're going to complain. At some point we're going to criticize somebody, tell a story, whatever like that. The point is that the Bible actually says that man can tame all types of animal in the world. It says that he can tame tigers and lions and whatever else, but man cannot tame the tongue. It says it's never been done. And so we know that it's a strong and a powerful thing. Because it's so powerful, it's hard to control. And so I just want everybody to walk out of here maybe thinking, okay, before I speak, before I say something, what can I do? What are a couple of things? I'm going to give you 2 things that we can do that maybe will help to stop gossiping. Number 1, guard your ears. Guard your ears. Super important. I saw this article at a doctor's office. Maybe it was a dentist's office. I'm not sure. But it was an article, and on the front page it said, how to stop gossip with just one question. I'm like, I got to read that. So I pick it up, and I'm looking at it. It says, stop gossip with one question. Here's what you say. When somebody comes up to you and they start talking about somebody, it says, look at them and say, why are you telling me this? Not like, why are you telling me this? But like, why are you telling me this? It says that it said that there's something in their brain. What it is it gets them thinking, why am I saying what I'm saying? It gives them a chance to maybe have a filter before they actually say it. If they say it after you warn them about it, it's whatever, I don't know. But it says, why are you telling me this? And maybe you're like, that's a little too confrontational for my likings. I can't say that. Somebody comes up to me, I'm not going to be like, why are you telling me this? So what if you said, hey, have you had a chance to maybe talk to that person about that? It's the same result. It'll stop. And it's not a new concept. It's not something that the magazine wrote up and made up. It actually came from Jesus. Jesus invented this rule. Look at this. Matthew 18:15. It says, if another believer sins against you, go privately and point out that offense. If the other person listens and confesses it, then you have won that person back. On this hand, it says gossip betrays a friend. It's over here, it says gossip, you'll never regain your good character and your reputation. But over here, Jesus says, if you'll just go to that person and point out the offense, listen, if they listen to you, there's a chance they might not, and that's okay, right? If they listen to you, you could win that person back. You could win that person back. And so maybe you're sitting here and you're like, well, I've tried this with this person and it still doesn't work. How can I guard my ears now? And I've had to do this. There are people in my life that I've actually had to strategically distance myself from and just avoid them. And this is biblical too. Look at this. Proverbs 20:19 says, a gossip betrays a confidence. So avoid anyone who talks too much. Guard your ears. And number 2, guard your mouth. This is very simple and effective. I'm going to teach you guys a Bible verse today. We're all going to learn a Bible verse today. I say this to my kids all the time. Here we go. It's Proverbs 21:23. Look at it. It says, watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, and stay out of trouble. Watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, stay out of trouble. Can we all just say it today? Watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, stay out of trouble. Everybody online here, join us in. Watch your tongue, keep your mouth shut, stay out of trouble. How many of you are going to go teach your kids that when you get out of here? Don't raise your hands. This is me all the time in traffic. Somebody cuts me off. I'm like, watch my tongue. Lord Jesus, keep my mouth shut. Daniel, stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. That's the main goal. I got to tell y'all this story. It happened this week. I'm sitting there and I'm at work. I'm here. And I'm trying to write this message and it's just my office sometimes is like a rotating door. It's not a bad thing, and I'm a very high extrovert. So somebody walks by, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Let's talk. Anything I can. And so I'm just like really behind on my message, and I'm like trying to get it done. And all the pastors on staff, we all take what we call on call, where we answer every call that comes to the church. One of us does for an entire week. It so happened to be my week to answer the phone, and so I can't ignore. I don't ignore any numbers that come through my phone, and I can't tell if they're from the church or they're calling for me. So man, I'm sitting there, I'm behind on my message, and I pick up the phone and I see this number, and I'm like, hello, this is Daniel, City of Church. What's up? And they're like, congratulations, you're the 100th caller. I'm like, I didn't call you. And they're like, you won a brand new cruise to whatever. I didn't get that far. I'm sorry, guys. I hit decline. I was like, or hang up, and I put it down, and I just went about my business, typing on my phone. And then all of a sudden, I hear my phone ringing again, and I pick it up, and it's them. I'm like, so I hang up again. I'm like, not today, Satan. Not getting me today. And a few seconds go by, and I hear, blink. That's my best voicemail pop up. And I'm like, oh, it's a voicemail. And I pick it up, and I'm like, hello, hello, what am I talking about? Daniel, stay with it. Lord, help me. Help me get through this. I pick it up, and I listen to the voicemail. And the guy on the other end says, what a Christian thing for you to do. Like, I got to call you every single day for the next 30 days because you didn't let me get all my line out. He's like, and I really don't want to have to do that. So thanks very much for being a good Christian and have a good, blessed day. Click. And I'm like, oh, snap. No, he didn't. I'm sitting over here trying to write a message about gossip. I'm trying to bring the word of Jesus in my office, and this guy's testing everything I got. And so I pick up my phone and I run to Pastor Devin. I'm like, Devin, you won't believe what happened. He's like, what happened? I'm like, listen to this voicemail. He's like, wow, I can't believe he said that about you. And I'm like, I know I can't either. And I go to Greg and I go to everybody I can. And I go home to my wife and I'm like, baby, you got to listen to this. Can you believe this? And she's like, I can't believe it. That's crazy. What's your topic on again? I'm like, gossip. Dang, girl. Because gossip is like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. And there's just something about being around somebody. It's just something about going back and making somebody else look bad, saying that person had a bad day. Can you believe the voicemail he left me? Look how good I am. I'm writing a message, right? How easy is it for us to just step over somebody that has a problem? That way we don't have to look so deep into ours. Or maybe we step over somebody else's addiction so it makes our addiction maybe look a little bit less bad, or maybe a little bit less real. Maybe we step over somebody else's marital issues so we don't have to look, for an instance, too closely at my own marital issues, because gossip says that they are weak and that makes me strong. Gossip says they are having a bad day, that means I have a good day. Gossip says they are struggling, but I'm not struggling because I'm stronger than they are. They look bad, I look good. But the gospel of Jesus Christ says that, yeah, Daniel, yeah, you messed up. Yeah, you got a big fat mouth. Yeah, you're unsatisfied. Yeah, you don't have it all together. Yeah, you complain a little too much. Yeah, you criticize. Yes, you're weak, but I'm strong. Gossip says you are weak, they are weak, and so I am strong. But the gospel of Jesus Christ says, no, listen, you are weak, but that's okay, because in your weaknesses you can boast, because I am strong where you are weak. Can we give a shout of praise to God because he is an overcomer?